Hello and welcome to another episode of What Travis Says. My name is Travis and let's talk about Doctor Who. More specifically, Spyfall Part 2 and the big question on everyone's mind. Now, Spyfall Part 2 didn't actually confirm any of my master theories, but it didn't actually denounce any of them either. And Spyfall Part 2 ended up answering a lot of questions posed by Spyfall Part 1, but it asked a lot of questions that we haven't gotten answers for yet. Namely, the big question on everyone's mind after watching that episode: who or what is the Timeless Child? Now, this is not the first mention of the Timeless Child during Jodie Whittaker's run. I was actually thinking about making a video about the Timeless Child way back during that year lull of no Doctor Who content whatsoever, but there just really wasn't a lot to go on. In the second episode of Whittaker's first season, the remnants, the ribbon-like creatures, mention the Timeless Child, and the Doctor gets very visibly confused and disturbed. They say, "We see further back, the Timeless Child. We see what's hidden even from yourself. The outcast, the abandoned, the unknown." So from the sounds of it, the Timeless Child has something to do with the very beginning of the Time Lords, or at the very least, the very beginnings of the Doctor and the Master. Also, the remnants say that they can see what's been hidden from the Doctor, so it's either a repressed memory or, more likely, an external force keeping the Doctor from remembering. And when the Doctor gets that visibly disturbed reaction from the remnants mentioning the Timeless Child, is it just that the Doctor is confused, or are there cracks forming in the barrier keeping her from remembering the Timeless Child? Now, at the very end of Spyfall Part 2, the Doctor receives a previously recorded message from the Master. The Master tells the Doctor that the Time Lords of old had lied to them, that they are not who they think. He says, "You or I, the whole existence of our species, built on the lie of the Timeless Child." And then, when the Master mentions the Timeless Child, the Doctor has a vision. A flash of the remnants mentioning the Timeless Child, and then a scene, a blurry image of what is assumed to be the Timeless Child. The Master goes on to mention the vision that the Doctor is having, saying that that's buried deep within the memories of all Time Lords. Now, we know that the Time Lords of old aren't the most ethically sound, but what would drive them to lie to the entire rest of the species about the Timeless Child? Does the Timeless Child have something to do with the origins of the Time Lord's power or the beginnings of their prominence? Could the Timeless Child be the original founder or creator of Gallifrey? More likely, with a name like Timeless, what if the Timeless Child is the way that the Time Lords were able to access time travel, or even trigger their regeneration cycles? But whatever the Timeless Child ends up being, the Master saw it fit to, once he figured it out, destroy the entirety of his homeworld of Gallifrey. Which, for the Master, is a very strange path if you think about it. Nearly every version of the Master would have used an uncovered lie to his advantage. Exploit a weakness, take control of the situation, but not this time. This time the lie was so great, so personal, that the Master saw it fit to burn the Citadel to the ground. We are not who we think, you or I. Clearly, showrunner Chris Chibnall has a plan for the Timeless Child, and it looks as if he's looking to write his own Gallifreyan lore. But whether this will be a long, multiple seasons plot thread like The Silence, or wrapped up by the end of the season like Davros's Stolen Planets, well, that remains to be seen. When it was first mentioned last season, I thought it had something to do with the Doctor getting these weird looks every time she had her medical stats read, but I guess that just had to do with her having two hearts. But what we do know is that the Timeless Child is a very dark Gallifreyan secret that the Time Lords of old did not want anyone to find out. So in the comments down below, let me know what you think the Timeless Child is. Do you think it was the originator of Gallifrey? Do you think the Time Lords somehow figured out how to get regeneration cycles from this Timeless Child? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Well, that's it for this episode of What Travis Says. As always, my name is Travis. Thank you for listening to what I have to say, and you will see me soon.